Welcome back to the 6th Gear Garage. Today, I'm going to show all the necessary steps to get your brand new laser cleaning machine up and running and fully operational. And that includes any assembly required, hooking up the electrical, the air supply, and last, we'll look at a fume extractor in case you have to use this unit indoors. When you purchase a machine from Fortune Laser, it's going to show up at your door in something like this. And that's all there is to it. No assembly required, straight out of the box, set up, ready to go. This is the FLC 500 and this is the FLC 200. This is their 500 and 200 watt pulse laser cleaning machines. This is the FLC 2000, a 2000 watt continuous wave laser cleaning machine. And this one did require a little bit of assembly. It didn't come with this rack mounted on the side just to save some space in the crate. So I had to install this and this. Well, that's as simple as a few screws. If there is any assembly required, it's going to be something simple like that. When it comes to powering your machine, keep in mind Fortune Laser builds these machines to ship all over the world. And here in North America, we're sort of the minority, and most of our appliances run on 110/120 volt, whereas the rest of the world is 220/240 volt. However, I do have a 220/240 outlet right here in my garage, so let's go take a look at that. So I installed this outlet a long time ago, specifically for this old school air compressor, and this is a 10-50R. It's a 50 amp outlet, and here's the type of plug that it accepts, which is really not the standard nowadays. So I looked around online and I found the biggest, blackest adapter here. This will get me from my 1050R to a plug for a 650R. And I don't know about the rest of the world, but here in North America, this is pretty much a standard for a 220/240 volt appliance, such as welders, plasma cutters, as well as most modern 220/240 volt compressors. So let's take a look inside the storage area of the 500 watt pulse machine and see what kind of plug we have. And here on the end, it looks like your average 120 volt plug here in North America. However, check the machine, and as I said earlier, this is a 220 volt machine. And this is the exact same way that the 200 watt pulse was as well. I found this online to go from the standard 120 volt plug to the 6-50/240 plug. So now I can plug the machine into this adapter, and then this plug will go into a standard 650/240 volt outlet. However, I have this additional one because I installed the oddball 1050 outlet in my garage. I'll put a link to these guys in the description in case you're looking to pick these up for your setup. I really love the built-in storage compartments on top of these pulse laser cleaners. Now, the FLC 2000 doesn't have that on top. Actually, it came with this whole entire little toolkit here with all the pieces and parts inside. And it also didn't come with a plug on the end. However, it did come with these adapters. I'm not exactly sure the exact name for these, but they're like a quick disconnect, and they're way too industrial for what I have going on here in my residential garage. So I opted to purchase this on Amazon. I'll put a link down in the description. And this came with just the bare wires. I went ahead and hooked it up myself, and now I have the standard 650 plug, just like I do on the adapter that I use for the other two machines. Now, I made a full video showing how I installed a 240 volt outlet here in my garage. Here in Ohio, we have basements. The electrical panel was in the basement, so it wasn't too hard to install a double pole 60 amp breaker, run some 10 gauge wire up across the ceiling, put a hole in the wall, install an outlet, hook up the wire, done. I'll put a link to that video down in the description. However, everybody's situation is slightly different in their work area, so I recommend hiring a licensed electrician to install your 240 volt outlet if you're not comfortable with electricity. Let's talk about air supply. These laser machines require clean, dry, compressed air to operate. And that includes these two air-cooled pulsed wave machines, as well as this liquid-cooled 2000 watt continuous wave machine. On both the air-cooled and liquid-cooled models, the cleaning heads have tiny air holes that help blow dust and debris away from the protective lens. If that dust and debris lands on the protective lens, that laser will heat that up and bake it onto the lens, which will decrease the effectiveness of the machine and cause that protective lens to need to be replaced more often. So like many things in my shop, my compressor is pretty old, and this is an old school, sharp moisture trap. The air goes in, moisture collects at the bottom, can be drained here, and then I have clean, dry air that comes out to my air hose. However, because this is a 220 volt compressor and I only have one outlet, which I use for those machines, I picked up this much smaller and quieter 13-gallon compressor by Weaver. And it plugs into a standard 120 volt outlet. You don't need a huge compressor like this to operate a laser cleaning machine. This Weaver unit is 2 horsepower, 13-gallon, and max 125 PSI. I wouldn't need anything close to that. But this compressor doesn't have a moisture trap on it, so I have its hose going into the moisture trap on my big compressor, and then I'm just using the hose coming out of my big compressor to hook up to my cleaning machines. When it comes to air pressure for these machines, you want to run about a 5 to 6 bar minimum air pressure, which is 72 to 87 PSI. This compressor has been great. It's quiet, it's low maintenance, it's easy to use, it's perfect for the laser cleaning machines. I'll put a link to it in the description, as well as a modern moisture trap if you don't want to try and find a used one that's like 50 years old. So after you get the machines completely set up, we need to talk about the environment in which you are using them. I'm in my residential garage where I restore old vehicles for YouTube. So normally it's not a big deal if I want to go outside in the driveway and use the machines. Otherwise, the garage would get pretty smoky. For when I do have to use the machines indoors, I have a fume extractor here. This was a few $100. I got it from Weaver, and it's great for the 200 watt pulse machine. However, it's not nearly powerful enough to use for the 2000 watt continuous wave machine. And Fortune Laser has much larger, much stronger units available for sale as well. If you have any questions about anything I've discussed today, let me know down in the comments. I'll be glad to answer. And I've already done a full review video on the FLC 200 as well as the FLC 2000. And I'll link both of those down in the description. And pretty soon, I'll be doing a review video on this FLC 500. Thanks for watching.